Hey, boom, let's do this. Welcome to Money Talks. I am your host, Bill Barhydt. Money Talks is the place where you and I get to have an honest conversation about all things crypto, what's happening in the crypto markets, and I'll answer your questions, give you the latest updates on Abra. We're going to talk today about Ethereum, potentially Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin. We're going to talk about CPRX, big happenings with CPRX, and we're going to get into our airdrop. I'll do my ever-loved market analysis. I'll give you my take on what's happening with Bitcoin, the price action, and some of the news that I'm seeing in the market. And then we'll take your questions. Okay. So let's get into it. By the way, I'm broadcasting to you on V-Day, right? Remember the 5th of November, live from Los Angeles. We had our event last night, had about 100 folks show up. It was a lot of fun. Great to see everyone, and look forward to doing it again. I'm getting corrected. It was closer to 200 people. So what do I know? I just know it was crowded and we were all breathing on each other, and I think everyone's going to be fine. Everyone was vaccinated. I honestly don't know if everyone was vaccinated, but I have a feeling we're all going to be fine. Okay, enough of that. Is Ethereum going to overtake Bitcoin? What is this flippening that we all hear about constantly? It's now used to talk about other cryptocurrencies, even overtaking Ethereum, but we're going to focus on the real meaning, which is the idea or a point at which Ethereum could surpass Bitcoin in market capitalization. All right. So both token market caps have skyrocketed, obviously, right? Bitcoin is just under, I think 1.2 trillion is the number, and Ethereum has gone to close to half a trillion. Think about that for a second. It was like under 100 billion 2 years ago, and now we're at half a trillion. It's unbelievable, Ethereum's run. We'll get into the market update and price action on Ethereum soon, but it's just been an unbelievable run. Bitcoin's massive market share has actually been eroding, right? So we refer to this often as Bitcoin dominance, and the Bitcoin dominance was at like 67% a couple of years ago. And I don't really show it much anymore, but it's hovering at around 45% now, which is just steadily eroding, which means that not only is Ethereum going up, but other cryptocurrencies are actually taking a portion of the market dominance from Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. So I expect that to continue. Ethereum's recent upgrade, right, the 159 upgrade, actually burns Ethereum and has caused the currency to have deflationary weeks. And I keep referring to it as a currency. Let's refer to Ethereum as a token. The token has had deflationary weeks, and it is seeing increasing demand and increasing price. The use cases for Ethereum are simply through the roof. We'll come back to that in a second. I've read analyst reports, Bloomberg and others, who believe that the upgrade is going to boost Ethereum's market cap, and they think that a flippening could even happen before the end of this year. I wouldn't rule that out. I was on a Twitter Spaces meeting with Mark Cuban and Pomp and Peter McCormick and a few others, and Cuban made the point that he believes that Ethereum's upgrade will give users a reason to use Ethereum versus Bitcoin as a store of wealth, and that ultimately we will see a flippening. Now, he's one guy, celebrity investor, but I thought that was a really interesting commentary. Ethereum has surpassed Bitcoin in 3 key on-chain metrics: the amount of value settled, right? So how much economic value is being settled on the blockchain, in transaction fees paid, right? So think of it almost like a bond. How much am I earning? What's my cash flow in Ethereum, right? You have a cash flow as a miner paid in Bitcoin. What are the transaction fees that I've been paid? And that's how much people are willing to pay to have their value settled on the blockchain. In Ethereum, it's called gas, and in Bitcoin, it's mining fees. So, and then the third is what we would call settlement assurances. How secure is that value once it's been settled on the blockchain? So obviously, Bitcoin is meant to be a store of value, right? I refer to it today as digital gold. I think it's going beyond digital gold when it starts to be used as collateral for other asset classes. I talked about that at length on Pump Show a few weeks ago, and you can go watch it. I think it was a really interesting conversation, but today it's pretty limited and it has kind of a singular use functionality. It can be used for P2P payments to settle the movement of Bitcoin, but it exists today for people as a store of value. When compared to Ethereum, which has use cases that are effectively exploding, right? We have NFTs. Everybody was in the NFT world was meeting in New York, and it was all the rage, and everybody patting themselves on the back about how amazing the NFT space is, and they haven't had their initial day of reckoning on the S curve yet, and they will. And NFTs will basically come down, and then they'll skyrocket up again, which is how things tend to evolve on an S curve. Look, it's impossible. And then we have DeFi, of course, and stablecoins, right? So these use cases for Ethereum are real, they're growing, and they're not going anywhere. Now, it's impossible to know if Ethereum is going to ever flip Bitcoin, but it appears more and more likely that this is going to happen. And I think, look, to me, Bitcoin, store of value, world currency. Ethereum, platform, the global computer. NFTs, DeFi, stable coins, who knows what else in the future, smart contracts, okay? That's what they are. So from an investment perspective, the flippening is definitely going to be big news. But, in terms of where crypto is going, I wouldn't read too much into it in terms of Bitcoin's future. I think Bitcoin is still the single best, safest, most secure store of value that's ever been created, bar none, right? And as a global computer, Ethereum will have changes and upgrades at a faster pace than Bitcoin. And maybe Solana and Cardano, which we'll talk about in the market update, will have upgrades and updates faster than Ethereum. We'll see. Certainly the technology around crypto and its underlying blockchain and whatnot has evolved at a very fast pace, faster than Bitcoin has evolved over the past 10 years. And that competition around the applications of technology in software is a good thing. All right. Okay. Before we get into next segment, let's talk about trading. So let's do a quick video here on how to trade on Abra.
Trading on Abra is easy. Just click the exchange button. Tap the source you'd like to trade. Tap on what you'd like to trade it for. Type in the amount. Then click trade. Tap, type, trade. Totally easy on Abra.
All right, so welcome back. So we talked about the flippening. Let's talk about interest rates. All right, so we raised our rates on stablecoins this week at Abra. We're now paying 9%. So new for Abra users, you can now earn 9% APY on stablecoins with Abra Earn. It's the only place I store my liquid cash is as stablecoins. I do some USDC, some True USD. I have some packs. I treat it all the same. It's all earning 9%. If you add our upcoming CPRX, big doings in CPRX land. If you add CPRX on top of that, you will earn a total of 14% interest on your crypto. That was not a typo. It was not a mistake. 14%. It's nuts, right? And it's a return that I actually believe in, right? Abra gives you a safe, honest return of 9%. That's not going to change, right? You're going to get that 9% paid in kind. In kind means you're going to continue to get the interest paid in whatever you're staking. So if you're holding USDC, you're going to get the interest in USDC, that 9%. The 5% on top will be paid in CPRX. Okay. And if you don't want to hold CPRX, just trade it into USDC or Bitcoin or Ethereum. All right. So Abra will have the best returns available anywhere in the industry for a long time to come. That's my opinion. These game-changing interest rates are only available on Abra. Please get your friends, to download Abra today. And of course, we've got the $25 referral bonus, which we'll talk about again in a moment. So it means that if you buy $100 worth of stablecoins in Abra by ACHing, wiring money in, using one of our tellers, you're going to get $9 in interest plus $5 in CPRX. That is a phenomenal deal. No other platform is offering anything close to this, as far as I can tell, with a safe CeFi-like system. All right. So let's talk about the CPRX drop. All right. So don't forget, we've got this big, massive, exclusive CPRX airdrop coming. 10 days. Oh my God. I have been working on this for 2 years. 2 years. Okay. To basically set up the alliance in Switzerland, to get the token minted, to work through how to do this in a way where we can build an ecosystem. And it's 10 days away. I'm so excited. All right. So again, 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks from this one-time opportunity to earn rewards using Abra Trade, Abra Earn, Abra Borrow. Right. So this Abra Perks program that we created as a partner of the New Crypto Banking Alliance is the backbone for everything in Abra now. You're going to earn rewards for everything you do, So to power the rewards program, the Crypto Banking Alliance gave Abra a grant of CPRX, this new utility token, to give away to you. We're not selling any. I don't get rich off of CPRX, unlike other CEOs. I get exactly what you get. Because I use Abra, I'm going to get CPRX in my Abra wallet, just like you are. Okay, so CPRX is now our utility token to promote cryptocurrency safe adoption, application on wealth management platforms. That's why the Crypto Banking Alliance exists. It's going to be giving CPRX grants to lots of different projects, companies, DAOs over the coming months and years. Abra was just one. We're not even getting half the tokens. More than half are going to go to other projects, and I have no influence. Abra has no influence over that. It's the Crypto Banking Alliance managing that. And this is going to basically make CPRX, in my opinion, one of the core cryptocurrency assets out there, being used for lots of different applications. So to show our appreciation to our users, all of you, we're going to give 100% of the token grant directly to you. And we want to make sure that you all get rewards for using Abra, and that this goes on for many months and years to come. So you can also earn rewards, as I said earlier, you can also earn rewards for referring a friend to Abra, or just for funding your account. In fact, users will earn $25. Let me say that again. Users will earn $25 in CPRX for making a referral. Just log into the app to get a personalized referral link. All right. I share it all the time. You should share your own link. When one of your friends uses the link to download and fund their account with $15 and hold the balance for at least 1 month, both you and your friend will get a $25 reward paid in CPRX. And my brilliant son, who uses Abra, said, well, Dad, what if I put $25 in Bitcoin in Abra and the price of, or $15 in Bitcoin in Abra, and the price of Bitcoin falls like down to $14, and my friend doesn't add more, will we both still get the bonus? And the answer is yes, you will both still get the bonus. So you'll also get 2.5% cash back on every trade made in the Abra app that will be paid in CPRX. All right, I'll repeat that. 2.5% cash back. We're paying you to trade in the Abra app. And you can receive bonus yield with Abra. As I said earlier, you're going to get a 5% annual bonus interest paid on all assets held in Abra Earn. You will get negative loan interest. What the hell is negative loan interest? That means we're going to pay you to borrow on Abra, right? You'll be paid 5% APY to hold a loan with Abra. Obviously paid weekly with everything else we do. So to make it simple, everything existing Abra users are doing in the app is going to help you earn CPRX rewards. This is awesome. All right. So once again, November 15th, 10 days from now. Remember the 5th of November. I love V for Vendetta. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch it. 150 million CPRX will be airdropped to existing Abra users on launch. Our deposit volume is way up. It's going through the roof right now because of the reaction to CPRX, obviously because the markets are going up and word is getting out on Abra. All three of those things are happening at the same time. It's awesome. If you haven't downloaded the app yet, download it and start using Abra Trade, Abra Earn, Abra Borrow. You don't want to miss this. I think we've got a video on Refer a Friend. Let's cue that one. All right, welcome back. So now I want to get into a little bit of market analysis. So I'm gonna share my screen here. So I want to talk to you while I'm teeing that up. I want to talk to you about a few things, right? First, you know, what I'm seeing in Ethereum is just incredible, right? It reached new all-time highs this week. I'm going to start with Bitcoin though. Right. I always start with Bitcoin. I'm not going to change that anytime soon. Bitcoin is consolidating. This is the weekly chart, and I'm going to zoom out and go to the daily chart. You've heard me refer to this consolidation. Let me zoom out here a little bit. All right. So huge run up, right? Starting in when did it start? Basically in September, and we're now in November, and we're consolidating basically right in the middle of the most recent run up. And when you hear me refer to a consolidation in a bull run, generally what that means is the rubber band is exploded. Like you wind up a rubber band, you let it go, it goes poof, it explodes. Now what we have is we have this consolidation, which is like the rubber band winding up with potential energy again, ready for the next explosion. It's not guaranteed, it doesn't always come, but I would be shocked if it didn't come here. Okay. And I think we've got a really good shot at 100,000 Bitcoin this year. Yeah, I'm not kidding. 100,000 Bitcoin. You say, well, Bill, it's at 61,000 and we've only got 7 weeks to go in 2021. That's right. We've only got 7,000 weeks to go. What a year. But I do think that the rubber band is winding up. And just like you saw runs of, let's look at the runs here. You had daily runs of 5%, 10%, 2%, 5%, 8%. These were daily moves. We're going to see daily candles in Bitcoin of $10,000 in the coming weeks, right? Because as Bitcoin price goes up, right, a 10% movement, if you're at $80,000, that's an $8,000 candle. I mean, for somebody who's been in Bitcoin for years, that is incredible. All right, so that's Bitcoin. Even more incredible. Let's look. I got to show you this for a second. Let me zoom out, and I'll show you this weekly chart. Okay, I got to go back to Bitcoin after this because there's one thing I forgot to show you. But let's look at this. Let's look at this weekly chart for a second. Right, it is unbelievable. Right, it's basically been an up and to the right run for more or less 2.5 years. But if I really go back to last summer, Ethereum was at $190, and it's now going to have, it looks like it's going to have a weekly all-time high on that candle of $4,500. I mean, what is that? That's like 30x. It's an insane number. Okay. Or, 25x. And the chart looks more bullish than ever. Right. So this thing wants to explode. Excuse me for a second. Didn't mean to do that. And it wants to explode let me get rid of this. I can bring this up over here. And it looks like it basically just wants to go to the moon. If I can turn this into a log chart, right, it actually doesn't even look that bad of a big of a run. Let me zoom back in on the log chart, right, this basically looks like it's been going in a straight line up and to the right for 18 months. And this trend, I think, is going to take us somewhere up here, let's say in this, kind of 10 to 15,000 range by the end of the year. That's an insane number, but it looks like that's where Ethereum is headed. Ethereum and Bitcoin don't care about our calendar. They don't know what November is, doesn't know what December is. So, we think in weeks and months in terms of investment return and the value of assets. Obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as software has no idea about our calendar. It's going to do what it's going to do. But that having been said, I'm gonna stop the chart. Sorry, Mr. Wizard, I forgot to tell you. I'm going to stop the chart. I want to show you something else really quick. Sorry, I'm bringing up too many things. I'm going to share my screen again. Look at this comparison of the Bitcoin price today versus the Bitcoin price in 2012, 2013. Now, I've showed you this before, but we keep updating it. Actually, our friends at GMI, Global Macro Investor, Raoul Pal's company, keep updating this. It is scary how accurate this has been. If this chart continues to hold, and look, I don't know if it's going to continue to hold. It's not a crystal ball. It's just information. But this would be a predictor of 250,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. What? That's a 4x run in 7 weeks. I don't know if that's going to happen. But look at this long-term consolidation, which long-term meaning effectively a 7-8 month consolidation, right? Because we hit 60,000 plus in February, and we've more or less been consolidating that way since then. And this baby is ready to break out. And I think it's going to basically hit certainly 100,000 is not out of the question. I'd be shocked. And I'm not lying. I would be genuinely shocked if we didn't hit 90,000. But if you look at this chart, it's telling you this thing's going to the moon again. And again, I don't trade actively. I'm holding Bitcoin, but right, it really is interesting to get a feel for where this is going, right? Meaning, should I be holding Bitcoin forever? Should I be moving some to Ethereum? Right now, if you're holding a combination of Bitcoin and Ethereum, you're in really good shape. All right, I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to go back to the charts. Sorry, hope I'm not giving you all whiplash here. Where is my trusty chart? So go back to the charts. And so we left off on the weekly chart for Ethereum, which, as I said, is about as, let me turn off the log chart here, which is about as bullish as you can get. All right. And so I'm going to go back to daily here. And as you can see, right, it is just looking incredibly bullish. New all-time high of 4,600 plus, slight pullback, consolidation. Look at this run from late September to now. I mean, wow, just up and to the right. And I think it's just getting started. Solana has been insane. I'm happy to announce we are going to be adding Solana to Abra. I don't have a date, so please don't ask me. If I had a date, I would tell you. It's coming. Engineers are working on it, and I will bring it to you as soon as it's there. And remember earlier this year, I don't know if you remember, we haven't been doing a detailed newsletter. I've just been too busy. But when we did one earlier this year, I talked about NFTs and I talked to you about Wax. Do you remember that? What did I tell you about Wax? Right? To me, Wax is one of those kind of under the radar, non-talked about cryptocurrencies that was getting a lot of usage, a lot of real world usage for NFTs were based on Wax. When I was talking about that, Wax was trading at less than 5 cents. So this is the daily chart for this year. It was trading at less than 5 cents. This week, right, Wax hit an all-time high in the last 2 weeks of over 60 cents, and it's now settled at about 55 cents. Okay, so it's up like 17x versus when I mentioned it as one of the cryptos that I was super bullish on earlier this year. I'm not going to get them all right, but this one was, I would say, kind of obvious because it was getting all of this usage, but it wasn't really being reflected in demand for the underlying crypto asset. And now it is. And the network effects around Wax, to me, look like, and here you see strong buy on the technicals, it looks like this baby, wants to go to at least $1. And so I'm going to be buying some more Wax pretty soon on Abra and just holding it for probably 8 to 10 weeks or so, and then see what happens. So yeah, I love Wax. I think, like I said, it's one of the unsung heroes of the NFT world. All right. So we talked about Bitcoin, again, consolidating, getting ready for the next run. Ethereum already broken out. It's probably going to do 2x the return of Ethereum of Bitcoin this year. Solana looking equally as bullish, and also looks like it's going to consolidate again, maybe in this 240 range. Maybe have a deeper pullback. I don't know, but still looking bullish. Cardano is having a deeper pullback, but is consolidating right now. So I don't know, consolidating, it is still bullish, right? We haven't, if you look at the long-term daily versus earlier this year, we made a new all-time high. We consolidated again, another run up to all-time high. We're consolidating again, another run up from here. If it continues, the bull trend would clearly have us, above, in that $4.50 to $5 range, in my opinion. So I don't know. It doesn't look as bullish to me as Solana and Ethereum, but it is consolidating, which is another bull flag. So we'll see if that happens. And it's also fallen below its shorter term 20-day moving average, which I don't rely too much on that in crypto because the network effects usually trump that long term, but short term, it could actually mean a little bit more of a bearish overhang. All right, so before I get into questions, I want to give you just my take on trading versus holding. And we talk about this all the time. By the way, if you have questions, and we're going to get to the AMA, let me say this now. Please use your wallet ID before your questions. I may actually decide on the fly to give away some CPRX, and I can only do that to Abra users who have a wallet ID. So put your wallet ID before any questions. If you asked a question earlier, you might want to re-ask it using your wallet ID, because you never know, I may want to give away some CPRX, which you'll get later on. Okay, so tee up those questions, they're coming. Trading versus holding. I do not consider myself an active trader in crypto. It's really not necessary to come in and out of cryptos on a daily basis. Altcoins, when I trade them, they tend to be multi-day or multi-week positions. If I feel that something is breaking out, like Wax right now is something that I'll be adding to, looking for a pullback and then adding it to a position for the next breakout. And if that doesn't happen, I'll obviously take the loss, but it looks like it will, right? But I'm not day trading cryptos. I'm not putting money into altcoins that I can't afford to lose. It's really important, okay? I have a significant, I'm irresponsibly long, as they say. My holdings are predominantly Bitcoin and Ethereum. I told you last year that I moved 50% of my liquid net worth into Bitcoin. And then earlier this year, I moved a whole bunch into Ethereum. And obviously with the last run up on Bitcoin, it's become way more than 50% of my liquid net worth. And I don't mind talking about it because, again, it's not investment advice, it's information. But I want you to understand how I look at this, because maybe it'll give you some insights as to how you might want to look at it for yourself. And you should listen to other folks. There's other podcasts, other Twitter feeds that also have really interesting take on this. Not everyone agrees with me, and I don't agree with everyone else. It's all information, and you can use it to make the best decision that you can for yourself. Okay, So I think we're gonna show a little video on Abra perks before we get to your questions. So I'm gonna stop sharing this screen and bring up the video.
A massive 150 million token airdrop is coming. You love Abra for making crypto simple, safe, and intuitive. And now there's another reason to be blown away by Abra. Introducing the Abra Perks Rewards Program, powered by Crypto Perks, CPRX. CPRX is a unique utility token, and it's happening soon. The more active you are in your Abra account, the more free tokens you'll earn. Here's how your perks start piling up. Trade and get perks. Earn interest and get perks. Take out a loan and get perks. You'll even get $25 in perks for inviting friends and family who fund an account. And every person who uses Abra before CPRX starts trading will be rewarded. So even new members will get their share of the big upcoming airdrop on November 15th, 2021. It's that simple. So get ready. The Abra Perks Rewards Program. It's all for you.
All right. So let's take some questions. So they're teeing up here, and you know what I think I'm going to do, and I apologize to our team at Abra who's going to have to deal with this. I'm going to give away $10 in CPRX on November 15th to anybody who has a question with their wallet ID attached to it. Okay. If you don't, it's all good. Just do it next time, and you can get in on the giveaway. By the way, one of the really nice comments here, we've got folks from all over the world, obviously from here in the US where I am, probably most of the questions, but I'm seeing questions from Southeast Asia, from Eastern Europe, Central Europe, South America. And I love that about Abra. Feel free to also mention where you're from and which country you're in your questions, but I see a bunch of that. Somebody mentioned that we're helping a lot of people in the Philippines. That's fantastic. I love hearing that. Okay, let's get into some questions. Yeah, this is one of, I think, the most important questions. And we're going to give Mac, and I think it was Robert, so Mac 1W7BFF1, will Abra add a limit orders option? So great question. You're our first CPRX giveaway recipient here, $10 CPRX to Mac. Yes, limit orders are coming. And we have advanced order types coming hopefully this year. I'm sure my team is upset that I've pre-announced this now, but I'm too excited. I'm going to tell you, yes, you will have limit orders in Abra. Victor asks N63E9L, I think I got it right, or N634E9L. Talk about different stable coins and why would you diversify across stable coins? So Victor, you don't need to diversify across stable coins. I hold different stable coins because for me, it's interesting to do so more than anything else, meaning I trust PAX, I trust USDC, I trust True USD in particular, because those are regulated entities in the US. And I know that they have the cash in a bank account, meaning that if the stablecoin float of USDC is worth $30 billion, that they're having audits to attest that there's $30 billion worth of cash and cash equivalents at their bank. And same with PAX and same with Trust Token, which is True USD. So I don't think you need to diversify across those stablecoins. And if you deposit directly into Abra today, you're getting True USD. And then soon you'll also have the option of getting USDC. I don't have a date, but you can convert between them in Abra. You can convert from PAX to USDC, Tether to USDC, whatever you want to do. And there's no reason, like I said, I don't hold Tether. It's not that I don't trust it like a lot of people don't. It's just that I'm more comfortable with the other ones. That's all. Let's see. So, Mike asks, where do I find my wallet ID? Mike, if you go into the Abra app, that's a good question. I should have mentioned that. If you go into the Abra app, at the top left is the menu, those three lines. We call it the hamburger menu. You click on the hamburger menu. Above where your photo goes is that code, and you can click on it and copy it, and it'll auto copy it into your clipboard, and then you can paste it into the chat. Okay, so it's super easy. You don't have to remember it or anything. Okay, let's see. Chris says, I remember you from the Tony Robbins event. Right on, that was a lot of fun. I remember that. That was a really good week. I got to meet Tony and present with him at his Platinum Partnership event, and he's massive and I'm tiny. Even though I'm 6'1", he's like a giant. And if you see the picture on my Twitter feed, you can't even believe that I'm 6'1" sitting next to Tony. You should check out my Instagram. You can see that picture. It was super cool. Yeah, so I already answered the question on limit orders. They're coming. And let's see, what else? And by the way, I mentioned V earlier. And you should go see V for Vendetta if you haven't seen it. Today's the anniversary, so you'll see it all over Twitter. Remember the 5th of November. It's kind of a meme for those of us who believe in crypto. Let's see. Yeah, I'll give. Let's see. C White gets some CPRX, FHP, PMKYA. Loved Raul Paul and Real Vision. I learned about Abra from him when you did your interview. Will you do a second interview there or invite him to Money Talks? The answer is yes. I don't have dates. It's being worked on. And I believe, I haven't invited him on Money Talks, and that's a mistake. So kudos to you. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to invite him on Money Talks. But we are working on potentially getting back onto Real Vision. And yeah, that was, people love that. If you haven't seen it, if you go to our YouTube page, and by the way, don't forget to click the like on the video and subscribe, right? It's really important. By the way, kudos to the Abra team. We passed 20,000 subscribers this week. I know there's a lot more sites with more subscribers, but this is a niche thing we do. I'm not a famous guy, and so building this up from scratch was a labor of love. And I remember doing this from my living room with no help a couple of years ago. And now we've got an awesome team helping us here. So congrats to everyone involved and all of you supporting us to getting to 20,000. Click subscribe, click like on the video. And that helps Google and YouTube know to promote our videos when you search for Bitcoin and crypto and things like that on YouTube. So yeah, so we'll try to get Raul in here, and I'm pretty sure he'll do it. Let's see what else. Robert asks 3M4X9VC, will Abra add NFTs and an Abra crypto credit card? Well, we're going to give you the CPRX prize, even though I'm going to evade your question with this nice smirk on my face. NFTs, crypto credit card, two things I would love to have in Abra, but I'm not going to pre-announce anything today except to say I love that question. Sammy asks, will you add recurring deposits as Coinbase does? Yes, I believe it's either done or close to done. So look for recurring deposits coming soon. David asks, I wish you had better support for Canada. So I don't know what you mean, but maybe you can ask a clarifying question. 7FT-UY4M, David, and ask your question again and clarify what you mean by better support for Canada. Lee asks, do I know when Abra Borrow will be available in Maryland? 3XXX, 1TP. We'll give you some CPRX, both Lee and David. Lee, I don't know, but I know the lending license to launch Abra Borrow is pending. By the way, the number of you taking out loans against your Bitcoin and Ethereum has been growing very steadily in Abra, and we love that. And I think it's one of the most important products in our arsenal. And as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and potentially other cryptos that will add as collateral to Abra Borrow grow in value, more and more of you are looking to take advantage of those gains without selling. The biggest problem that I have in selling crypto today is, what would I buy? I don't want to hold cash. Cash is worthless, right? Yeah, I could buy stocks, but stocks are just basically a proxy for money printing. Unless you know how to pick winners, you're just going to buy an S&P ETF, which is going up. It's super bullish. There's weeks where it outpaces Bitcoin, but not, certainly not in the long run. it's just a proxy for government money printing, right? And so the question is, what would I buy? And right now the answer is just more Bitcoin. So I'm just going to keep holding. And that's why Abra Borrow is so interesting. It lets you borrow against that Bitcoin. So you continue to hold the appreciating assets, and you borrow in dollars, which is the depreciating asset. It's a great deal. And so that's what I'm going to do in the future as I need, more liquid cash. Okay, keep the questions coming. My God, I can't believe it's going to take I'm not going to be able to answer all of your questions today, folks. So keep the conversation going. If I don't get to your question, you can also ask it underneath the Twitter feed for the show or the Facebook feed, and support staff will answer. I don't think they can type in answers on YouTube after the show has ended. So I'm going to pick a couple more here at random. Phil asks, WBPYSVH, is there any reason to keep interest earning ETH over interest earning true USD besides the higher interest rates? Well, obviously, if you're holding ETH, you're getting the benefit of the run up in Ethereum. And if you're holding true USD, you're just holding dollars. So the benefit of holding ETH, of course, is you're getting the benefit of the price run up in the value of Ethereum. So let me be clear on this if this isn't clear. If you're holding Bitcoin or Ethereum in Abra Earn, you're getting interest paid in Ethereum. You're getting interest paid in Bitcoin. Whatever you're holding in Abra Earn, that's what you receive the interest in, right? So I love Monday mornings because I get push messages to my phone that I've gotten free Bitcoin, free Ethereum, free USDC, free True USD, because that's my interest in each of those cryptocurrencies that I'm holding. Okay, so as Bitcoin goes up in value, the value and the interest is going up at the same time. All right, let's see. I talked about recurring deposits. When will we do, Bruce asks, HC1 MSK7, when will we do our next event? I assume by that you mean our next live in-person event. Obviously, we're going to continue to do Money Talks every Friday, but I think it's going to be in Miami during Art Basel. The first week of December, we're going to have a big party there to celebrate the launch of Crypto Perks, Abra Perks' new rewards program with CPRX. And yeah, that'll be in Miami the first week of December. I think we're going to be in Puerto Rico for the blockchain week in Puerto Rico the week after that. It's going to be awesome. Then the calendar for next year is filling up. We've got the Bitcoin Miami conference, North America Bitcoin conference. I think it's like the second or third week of January. I'll be speaking there. And I'll be speaking at Abundance 360, which is Peter Diamantis' event. Peter's coming on Money Talks in a couple of weeks. So not next week, but I think the week after, Peter's going to be joining us. We're going to talk about exponential technology. You know what I should do? I should really get Raul Paul to join Peter on the show, and I'm going to try to do that. So stay tuned for that. So we've got so much stuff coming up to get the word out on Abra in the coming weeks. It's as you can tell, I'm super excited about it. It's awesome. Let's see. Carl asks N3PJQ4X. Hi from the Philippines. Would I invite Peter Schiff on Money Talks? I don't think so. I don't think it's a productive conversation. I'm not a gold guy. Very few people here are asking for my opinion on gold and where that's going. Look, if you all want it, please, respond to the Twitter feed and let me know, or, send us a note and let us know that you'd like to see Peter on the show. I can't say I'd rule it out. I never considered it, but he did a really interesting interview on Peter McCormick's show, what Bitcoin did, and you can go listen to that. I think that's probably sufficient fill of Peter. Look, I have a lot of respect for Peter Schiff, but he's not my cup of tea. So let's leave it at that. All right. Livewell30A asks, do you have advice for someone who wants to participate or invest in crypto, but doesn't have the time to keep up with this rapidly changing environment? Is there an invest in index funds approach to crypto? So for the average investor that's interested in crypto, Livewell, I would recommend a very simple basket in Abra Earn of Bitcoin and Ethereum to start. You can do 50-50 It's probably what I would recommend now if people ask me. Again, I don't give investment advice, but if I were to give advice, I'd say, you'd be okay with a 50-50 bucket. Put some cash in Abra Earn to get that interest, and at 14% with CPRX on top of the 9%. It's the best deal you're ever going to get for holding your liquid cash. Then if you want to put a little bit of money, let's say 10% into liquid altcoins, Solana, Cardano, Stellar, that's fine. Some of them like Wax, I think are going to have big runs, but again, make it money you're willing to lose. Make it money you're willing to lose, and that's okay. Right. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to go up significantly in value. But again, there's no guarantee. You can see 50-60% price drops in this stuff. So your time horizon needs to be long term. If you're looking for 1 month gains to buy a house, you're going to be very disappointed. You might get lucky, but this is not about getting lucky. It's about being smart and investing for the long term and really understanding why I'm excited about crypto. I'll tell you a story. I did not get into crypto to make money. I got into crypto because I saw Bitcoin 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago, as an alternative to traditional money transfer systems, right? I saw you had a system that could replace banks, Western Union, as a way to do person-to-person money transfer with no trusted intermediaries. Now, obviously, Bitcoin at its core has evolved to be a store of value. But Lightning now, I think, could be the solution for doing money transfer at global scale. Back to what got me excited about Bitcoin in the first place and crypto in the first place. It wasn't about making money. Hey, I learned later that as this thing becomes a store of value, its price is going to go up. And I quickly, pivoted myself to understand that and act accordingly. But that's not what got me excited about it. And it's still not what gets me the most excited about crypto. It's all of the wonderful things that we're doing with it, developing NFTs, the gaming space, the metaverse is going to be based on Ethereum and Solana. Bitcoin is going to become the global store of value for 1 billion plus people, right? It's not just about making money. This is changing lives, right? The government money is now being stored as stable coins in Ethereum, which is incredible. Think about that. Right? This is an idea that didn't exist like 7 years ago, and people are storing billions of dollars as stablecoins. Okay, so this is more than just how do I make money. It's great to make money, and it's great to increase the money you already have in value by investing in crypto. But I hope that all of you are spending time digging deep as to where all this is going and why, and that's why I'm here. Okay, so enough of my speech. I apologize for that. Let's see. So George asks, or Jorge, I don't know how you pronounce it, EC1T8RP. Hello, Bill. I have some stable coins in a Polygon wallet. Can I transfer to my Abra wallets? So I don't think you can do a layer 2 transfer from Polygon to Abra yet. You would have to go back to, I believe, to MetaMask on layer 1 and then transfer to Abra. I know that we're looking into ways to get layer 2 solutions into Abra. I don't have any dates or a time frame for that. So just go back to MetaMask first and then go from MetaMask to Abra. Of course, the downside of that is you're going to have to pay gas fees. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. Sammy HYGNEXE asks, will Abra ever go public or do an IPO? Sammy, you never know. I think that Abra, as a profitable, fast-growing company, probably should be public at some point, but I don't know. I have nothing to announce except to say that it's something that we'll consider as we go, and we'll legally announce it however we're supposed to do that, following securities laws, or maybe we would become a DAO. I don't know. Why not, right? I think the DAO model is super interesting. Somebody asked a question earlier, and I don't remember the person's name, so I apologize. I can't read your wallet ID. But somebody asked about how the Crypto Banking Alliance is going to use CPRX grants to support DAOs in the future. This is a brilliant question. Okay, let me explain what the question means so that you can understand the answer. A DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. It's an organization that kind of exists in the cloud. It's not a C corp. There's no named CEO. There's no off switch, right? So Maker, which is makes the DAI stablecoin, would be an example of a DAO. It's basically based on smart contracts running mostly on Ethereum today, and potentially other platforms like Solana and Cardano in the future. And so I think you're going to see DAOs representing banking systems. You know, in a way, you can think of DEX protocols like Uniswap as a DAO, right? I mean, it's not really doing much in the way of governance, but it does have a token that can be used for governance, and that would effectively make it something like a DAO. The token that you use as a DAO gives all of its holders, in theory, voting rights to make decisions on what happens with the software that represents the DAO. I hope that makes sense. I said it really fast. The token you're holding acts like a vote. So in the traditional world of stocks, the stock you're holding gives you a vote. In the DAO world, the token you're holding would most likely give you a vote. And you would get to vote on what happens. Do we release this new feature that's been checked in our open source GitHub? Do we change interest rates? Do we support other tokens in the DEX, et cetera, et cetera? So decisions could be made based on that. You're going to see DAOs do all types of things in banking, in finance, and games. And I think that the Crypto Banking Alliance is going to look to make a lot of grants in that area in the coming months. If you have an interesting project, you should go to cryptoperks.com, which is the CBA's website, and apply for a grant, right? You can apply for a CPRX grant and use CPRX in your app. Okay. All right. So enough of that. Thanks for the questions. I'm going to take one more. I'm talking a million miles a minute here, so I'm going to try to slow down and take maybe two more questions. Live Grain, SHE86UN. Live Grain asks, can you talk about the limits on ACH transfers versus wire transfers? Gladly. So for those of you in the US, you have the option of transferring via your bank using ACH. And I believe the limit is now $20,000 a day. And wires, bank wires globally, regardless of where you are in the world, have no limit, right? You can wire in millions of dollars if you want to. And we've had people do that. So the reason that ACH has a limit, and also the initial hold, you can trade right away once the ACH hits. You just can't withdraw the money. The reason is that there's significant chargeback fraud on ACH transfers, because the government, in their infinite wisdom, allows you to buy something using ACH and gives you like up to 60 days to charge that back. And so to limit all of you getting screwed on fees because fraudsters charge back, we have to create limits on the size of ACH deposits. We don't have that chargeback risk with bank wires. So that's why there's no limits on the size of wire deposits. I think it might be held for a few hours, or half a day, because there is a small risk there, but that's about it. Okay. So that's the reason. We are looking to scale back significantly that 60-day hold, and hopefully that'll start happening in the coming weeks, and then even potentially raise the 20K limit. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So there is a rhyme and reason to what happens behind the scenes here with these bank transfers. And I know it's a little annoying sometimes if you want to just type in your bank login and password and transfer $100,000. I would do that if I could, but it unfortunately just represents a very big fraud risk. The problem with fraud risk is it means more fees to you, right? And we don't want that. So we try to eliminate the fraud risk to keep the fees down to zero. Okay. Sam asks, will we list Solana? As I said earlier, we are going to list Solana. I don't have a date for you, but it's coming. I'll take two. Okay, I'll take two more. That was an easy one. Taffy asks, does Abra, or can Abra be used in Jamaica? I believe the answer is yes. I've never tried it when I was in Jamaica, but I'm pretty sure all of the Abra services are live in Jamaica. And let's see. Jer asks, what's the holdup in California regarding Abra Earn? I'm not sure what you mean. Abra Earn is live in California. I'm in California. I use it. I think maybe you mean Abra Borrow. Abra Borrow is not live in California, and the reason is we have our lending license pending with the State Banking Commission, and hopefully we'll get it in the next few weeks and we'll turn it on. So it's the day we get informed that we have that license, we are going to turn on Abra Borrow. It's just a switch that we can flip, and those of you who have California IDs will be able to borrow against your crypto, which is exactly what I will start doing when I can. All right. Well, I said that was going to be it, but I'm going to take one more since those are a couple of easy questions. Let me scroll here. This is at least 5x. I don't know if it's because of the giveaway. Probably is 5x the number of questions I normally get. Yes, get Raul Paul on. Thanks. Absolutely. Forget Peter Schiff. Okay. Digibyte asks, is an Abra IRA possible? Thanks, BZYFD5J. Yes, it is possible. Everything's possible. Are we going to do it is probably what you mean to ask. I think so. We've spent a lot of time looking into it. We know how to do it. We know how to do it in a way that is easy to use and would let you trade and earn interest. We're working through the details. And I think we will be able to bring it to you in the coming weeks. So look for IRA support and even trust accounts. We actually do support trust accounts today, by the way, just not in the Abra app. So if you send a note to support@abra.com, if you have a trust and you want to set up Abra Earn or trade into your own personal or LLC trust, we can do that for you. So let us know about that via support@abra.com. All right, I'm losing my voice. I forgot to bring my water over. And I've been talking actually with show prep, a couple of hours straight now. So I'm going to call it here. Have a fantastic weekend. I hope your Halloween was fun, and maybe you'll recuperate and just sit in the yard and enjoy the fall weather and take it easy this weekend. I know I'm going to do some recuperating from a lot of walking and partying over the last few days with all these celebrations. We've got one more celebration this afternoon, and then I'm gonna take it easy for the weekend, and I hope you do too. So in the meantime, be smart, right? Don't invest what you can't afford to lose in the altcoins. Bitcoin and Ethereum look like they're getting ready to go to the moon, so I hope you've all got your positions there. I know I do, and we will see you next week on Money Talks. Stay safe. Peace, everyone. Take care.